Welcome to Screen Hollywood, the home of movie news and entertainment. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.
The film starts with this suburban family drama. We've got relationship problems, family tension, a mother, a father, children, ordinary suburban life. Then suddenly, everything changes. You can have dinosaurs running through streets. You can destroy entire neighborhoods. You can throw enormous set pieces at me. But if I don't care about the people running away from those dinosaurs, why should I care whether they survive? I'm not saying he's a terrible actor. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that this particular performance didn't work for me. I didn't feel the urgency. This film feels like a cash grab. People still love Jurassic Park. People love Stranger Things. People love 1980s nostalgia. People love dinosaurs. Let's put all of that together. And maybe, just maybe, people will come. I've just come out of the cinema after watching The End of Oak Street, and I've got to be honest with you, I'm struggling to understand why this movie needed to be made. There are some films where you walk out thinking, that was terrible. There are others where you walk out thinking, that wasn't very good, but at least they tried something. And then there are films where you sit there thinking, what exactly was the point? And unfortunately, that's where I am with The End of Oak Street. Because the biggest problem I had with this film isn't even the acting. It isn't the dinosaurs. It isn't the special effects. It isn't even the story itself. My biggest problem is that I never felt this film had its own identity. It feels like a movie desperately searching for an audience by borrowing ingredients from films and franchises that already have one. And for me, that became impossible to ignore. Let's start with the elephant in the room. Jurassic Park. The influence is obvious. Now, there's nothing wrong with being inspired by Jurassic Park. You can make a dinosaur movie without Steven Spielberg sending a lawyer to your front door. Dinosaurs don't belong exclusively to Jurassic Park. But there's a difference between taking inspiration from something and making the audience constantly think about something else while they're watching your movie. And that's where I struggled. Because The End of Oak Street seems desperate to capture that Spielbergian sense of suburban wonder and prehistoric terror. Then you've got the whole mysterious supernatural element, the strange phenomenon, the what on earth is happening mystery. And I couldn't help thinking about Stranger Things as well. The problem isn't that either influence exists. The problem is that I couldn't always see where The End of Oak Street ended and the influences began. And that is a massive problem for me. Because when I'm watching a movie, I want to see the filmmaker's imagination. I want to feel like I'm watching something that could only have come from that particular director. Here, I kept seeing other movies, and that's probably the best way I can describe this movie. Identity crisis. What exactly is The End of Oak Street? Is it a family adventure? Is it science fiction? Is it horror? Is it a dinosaur survival movie? Is it a mystery? Is it a nostalgic throwback to 1980s cinema? The answer appears to be yes, it's trying to be all of those things. And normally I'd applaud that ambition. But you've got to make those ingredients work together. And for me, they don't always connect. The film starts with this suburban family drama. We've got relationship problems, family tension, a mother, a father, children, ordinary suburban life. Then suddenly, everything changes. The neighborhood is transported into this bizarre prehistoric environment, and the movie becomes a survival adventure. On paper, that's actually a fantastic premise. I'm not denying that. In fact, I think there's a really good movie buried inside this idea. But the execution left me cold. And this is where the movie lost me emotionally. I didn't really connect with the characters. That's a killer for me. You can have the greatest special effects in the world. You can have dinosaurs running through streets. You can destroy entire neighborhoods. You can throw enormous set pieces at me. But if I don't care about the people running away from those dinosaurs, why should I care whether they survive? That's the fundamental problem. I never became emotionally invested in this family in the way I think the filmmakers wanted me to. There were moments where the movie clearly wanted me to feel something, and I could see what they were attempting. But I wasn't there emotionally. I was watching it, rather than experiencing it, and that distinction is important. Now, I'm going to say something that some of you probably won't agree with. I've never been a massive Ewan McGregor fan. I know he's got a huge following. I know he's been in some enormous films. I know people absolutely love him. But watching this movie, I was reminded of why I've never really connected with him as an actor. For me, his performance here is extremely flat, very monotone. I never felt much energy coming from the character, and when you've got a movie that desperately needs personality, that becomes noticeable. I'm not saying he's a terrible actor, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that this particular performance didn't work for me. I didn't feel the urgency. I didn't feel the emotional weight. I didn't feel that he was bringing something distinctive to the movie. And when you've got dinosaurs attacking your neighborhood, that's saying something. Then we have Anne Hathaway. And honestly, I kept asking myself the same question. Why did Anne Hathaway sign up for this? She's an incredibly talented actress. She's had an extraordinary career. She's worked with some of the biggest directors in Hollywood. And she certainly doesn't need this gig. Which makes it even stranger to me, because when you see an actress of Hathaway's caliber attached to a project like this, you naturally expect something more, something with depth, something ambitious, something that takes a genuinely interesting swing. And instead, I felt like she was being dropped into a film that hadn't quite decided what it wanted to be. To be fair, she does bring more energy to the movie than McGregor, but even she can't completely solve the fundamental problem. You can have fantastic actors, but they still need great material. And that's where I think the end of Oak Street struggles. Now we're getting to the part where I'm probably going to upset some people. But this is my review, and I'm going to be honest. This film feels like a cash grab. That's the impression I got sitting in the cinema. It feels like Hollywood looked around and said, people still love Jurassic Park. People love Stranger Things. People love 1980s nostalgia. People love dinosaurs. People love mysterious science fiction concepts. Let's put all of that together. And maybe, just maybe, people will come. That's the feeling I got. And that's why my tolerance for this movie was so low, because I could see the strategy. I could see what they were trying to do. And for me, it was too obvious. Now let me make something clear. I'm not against nostalgia. Far from it. I love a good throwback. I love 1980s cinema. I love Spielberg. I love classic adventure movies. I love Stranger Things. I love Jurassic Park. That's precisely why this bothered me, because those films and shows had personalities of their own. They weren't created by taking 3 successful formulas and throwing them into a blender. They had identities, they had voices, they had something to say. That's what I think is missing here. The end of Oak Street feels like it's desperately trying to remind you of other movies, rather than giving you a reason to remember this movie. And that's a huge difference. This is something I've been talking about a lot on Screen Hollywood recently. Audiences aren't stupid. They know when they're being marketed to. They know when Hollywood is trying to manufacture nostalgia. They know when a studio sees a successful franchise and thinks, how can we make something that attracts the same audience? And sometimes, it works. But sometimes, it backfires. Because audiences are increasingly looking for something different. That's one of the reasons I've been so positive about some of the horror and thriller movies we've discussed recently. They're taking risks, they're experimenting, they're trying different concepts. They're not necessarily perfect, but at least they're trying to create something. That's what I wanted from the end of Oak Street. I wanted a movie that took this absolutely bonkers premise and went somewhere unexpected. Instead, I felt like I was watching Hollywood trying to recreate something that already worked. Because buried underneath all of this, there is actually a good idea. Think about the premise. An ordinary suburban neighborhood, suddenly removed from everything it knows, dropped into an environment where humans are no longer at the top of the food chain. That's a brilliant setup. You could make that terrifying. You could make it funny. You could make it emotionally devastating. You could turn it into a genuine survival thriller. You could explore what happens when ordinary people are stripped of all the conveniences of modern civilization. There are so many directions this story could have gone. And that's why I found the finished movie so frustrating, because I kept thinking, there is a better film hiding in here. And I want to make another thing clear. The dinosaurs themselves aren't what I disliked. Some of the creature work is impressive. There are moments where the film does deliver the spectacle you'd expect from a big screen dinosaur movie. And if you're going into this purely because you want to see dinosaurs running around a suburban neighborhood, you'll probably get something out of it. But spectacle isn't enough for me. I need a reason to care. I need characters. I need tension. I need originality. I need a story that makes me think, I've never seen this before. And unfortunately, that wasn't my experience. So, would I recommend The End of Oak Street? Honestly, I'm struggling to. And I know some people are going to absolutely love this film. I've already seen plenty of people praising the throwback atmosphere, the dinosaurs, and the big screen spectacle. That's completely fair. Film is subjective. If you go into this wanting a nostalgic dinosaur adventure, you might have a fantastic time. But if you're asking me whether I think this is an original, creatively ambitious film, my answer is no. For me, it feels like a movie assembled from familiar ingredients. A little Jurassic Park, a little Stranger Things, a little 1980s nostalgia, a little science fiction, a little family drama, and somewhere in the middle, the identity of The End of Oak Street gets lost. That's my biggest criticism. Not that it borrowed ideas, Hollywood has always done that. It's that I never felt it found a compelling identity of its own. And that's why I walked out thinking, this movie really didn't need to be made. Not because the premise was bad, not because the actors were incapable, not because dinosaurs aren't entertaining, but because I believe Hollywood could have done so much more with the idea. And honestly, I'm getting tired of movies that feel like they're trying to carrot and stick audiences into the cinema by attaching themselves to things we already love. Give us something new. Give us something bold. Give us something original. Don't just remind us of better movies, make us remember yours. That's my review of The End of Oak Street. Have you seen it? Do you agree with me? Or do you think I'm completely wrong? Let me know in the comments. If you enjoyed this review, don't forget to like, subscribe to Screen Hollywood, and turn on notifications for more movie reviews, Hollywood news, trailer breakdowns, and opinion-led analysis that goes beyond the headlines. And don't forget to bookmark and subscribe to our news publication at screenhollywood.com. I'll see you in the next one.